Hello and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. My name's Jon Watts and you've joined me at Drayton Park Golf Club. And today I want to cover another part of my slope series. So today what we've got is the downhill slope. So we've covered the uphill before. Please check out the link to it in this video as it has some real relevance to what we're going to be talking about today. So the downhill slope. What I want to discuss is really how this is going to affect your ball flight, and then what we should do to allow for it and how we should adapt our swing or our technique to best cope with this situation. So for me as a right-handed player, the ball flight I'm going to expect to see from this slope is definitely a lower ball flight and a ball flight that's going to curve a little bit more to the right of the target. So I need to allow for those things. I need to allow for the lower ball flight and the extra run that that's going to give me, and I need to allow for that ball to be curving a little bit more right of target for me as a right-handed player. So I'm going to allow for it by aiming a touch more to the left. What I would suggest off any of these slopes or any of the videos from the slope series is you actually try it first, see how that affects your game. If you're naturally a fader of the ball, a right-handed fader of the ball, and the ball's curving right to the target, what you may find is you get it even more so from this slope, whereas if you're a natural drawer of the golf ball, you may end up hitting the shot pretty neutral. The one thing that's going to happen with all of you is this ball flight is going to go lower. It does depend on the severity of the slope, and the more severe the slope, the lower the ball flight, of course. Now, what effect that has on distance? I think if you've got a short iron in your hands, the fact that we're actually de-lofting the club by going with the slope rather than fighting against it as we want to, you're naturally going to be de-lofting the golf club, lowering the dynamic loft. We are going to see more distance. So you're going to be turning, if you're hitting a 9-iron, you're going to be turning that maybe more into an 8 or a 7, depending on the severity of the slope. I think when you get into the longer clubs, I've got a 5-iron I'm going to hit for you here. What actually happens is you're going to be losing carry distance because of the lower trajectory. The ball's actually going to be contacting the ground a little sooner, but you will gain roll. So you'll lose carry but gain roll. For me, I'll end up hitting this a pretty similar distance but a very different trajectory. So normally my 5-iron might only have 10 yards of bounce and roll, whereas I'm going to be allowing for more like 30 today. So if you're trying to hit a shot that's approaching a green, you need to think about that. You need to think about where you can land it to run it in. What you're going to really struggle to do off this slope is hit a high ball flight where you can get the ball to come down and stop softly, especially with a low lofted club in your hands like this. So, two things. I'm allowing for it to go lower, I'm allowing for more roll, and I'm allowing for the ball to curve a little bit right to target. The key point off any of these slopes, well, uphill and downhill especially, is we want to go with the slope. We don't want to fight against it. So the rule that I've got in place here is the ball should be near your higher foot and your weight should be near your lower foot. So my higher foot is my right leg here. That's my trail foot. So I'm going to play the ball further back in my stance than I normally would. Okay, so the ball is nearer my higher foot, but my weight is going to be more on my lower foot. That's my lead leg over here. And what that's going to have the effect of doing is setting my body closer to matching the angle of the slope. Now I say closer because our right hand's lower than our left on the golf club. It's very hard to actually follow the slope completely. What you'll find out is your shoulders will be more level, whereas normally my trail shoulder will be sitting lower than my lead shoulder. Off this slope, I'm feeling like I'm following the slope. In reality, my shoulders are just going to be more level, maybe a touch lower with the lead shoulder, again, depending on the severity of that slope. So, ball near my higher foot, weight on my lower foot. The other thing I want you to do with all slope lies is just widen your stance to try and gain a little bit of balance. You may feel like you actually want to slow your swing down to 70 or 80% anyway, just to try and maintain balance, and again, take the club accordingly if that is how you're going to play it. So if you're going to actually slow this down, then we may be taking a little bit more club. Or again, off this slope, we'd expect to see more distance with a short iron. Maybe we'll just accept for the same distance, but be swinging it a little bit softer. So see what's best for you, what distance that produces, and then you'll know how to counteract it. I'm going to aim a little left of where I want it to finish, allowing for that slope, that ball to curve just a touch more to the right of the target, because of this steeper swing that I'm going to be producing is going to be giving me a little bit more of a left exit, a little bit more out to in. I'm going to be moving the ball near my higher foot. I'm going to be setting my pressure more on my lower foot, so my body is following the slope. I'm just going a bit wider with my feet. It's important that I have a couple of practice swings and feel like I'm swinging down the slope rather than trying to lean back. If you do try and help this up in the air, you're going to have terrible results, either catching the ground first or missing the ground and striking upwards on the golf ball, giving more of a topped or a thinned strike. So if you have any practice swings, try and get that divot, but try and get it from the ball forwards rather than back. Right, let's give it a whirl. Aiming just a touch left, ball nearer my higher foot, weight on my lower foot, swing down the slope. And that was a really flat, really low trajectory, lots and lots of run. It actually caught, there's a bit of a bank in front of me, it caught that bank, it was going so flat, so low. So I really de-lofted that 5-iron, and we got a lot, I actually lost out on carry there, but a hell of a lot of roll. So ball back, weight forwards, going with the slope, allowing for that lower trajectory. So same sort of thing there, really flat, really low trajectory, ball curving a touch right to target. You can see that the divot is happening after impact. I was swinging down the slope, not trying to help that ball airborne. I hope that video's helped. If it has, please check out the other slope lies. So I've done downhill, uphill, and I'll have done or be doing ball above and ball below. So please check those out. If you did find them useful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for free videos coming Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And lastly, all the social media info you need is coming along the bottom of the screen. If you can check us out on there, that'd be great. Thanks, guys.